Hello to everyone from the world of Zone News. Let me tell you today about the 2023 BMW 9 M60 first test. BMW currently has two different EV strategies, one that takes advantage of flexible platforms to offer electrified versions of gas models, think i4 and the new i7, that normally run conventionally, and the other that chooses custom electricity like the new 9 SUV. Even if we hadn't told you this, I bet you would have noticed some of the differences between the iX and other electric BMWs on sale today. The i4 and i7 mostly look like their 4 Series Grand Coupe and 7 Series sedan counterparts. The iX? We caught you looking, didn't we? While the iX may look odd with its curved profile, flat side edges and Terminator, rise of the beaver teeth front end, offering sassy performance in the standard 9 xDrive 50 format and even more in the M Performance version, the series follows the familiar BMW practice version called the 9 M60. An overhauled rear-wheel drive engine with a longer stator and rotor, and double the amperage, than the M50, the M60's 516 horsepower and 564 lb-ft to 532 horsepower, 611 in sport mode, and 749 lb-ft responsible for upgrading. 811 lb-ft in launch control mode. Having already tested the 9 xDrive 50, we are here to deliver the good news. Seriously, stop looking at the iX. We can do what we're digging into the 9 M60's performance figures and pointing out how acceleration times outpace lighter, more focused sports cars. For starters, it's 503 horsepower faster than the BMW M3 competition, which is about 2,300 pounds lighter. But of course it is, EVs are good for outpacing gas-only models. Despite its 3-ton weight, the 9 M60 instantly uses its available torque to great effect. Skip the 0 to 60 miles per hour in quarter-mile times, and the iX's data starts to look more average. Even on 21-inch summer tires, our test model had a lot of 0.86 G left in the spin and needed a good not-so-good 120 feet to stop at 100 kilometers per hour. There's no getting over the culprit, the iX's substantial bulk. Finding a direct comparison for the 9 is difficult. It's bigger than Audi's slower e-tron EV SUV, smaller and less powerful than the Tesla Model X Plaid. The gas-powered BMW X5M is the closest in size and overall performance. So it's good that the 9 offers more rider satisfaction than the final objective test numbers, with an agility that hides its weight. A few things are at work here. First, the 111.5 kilowatt-hour battery, 106.3 kilowatt-hours usable, is mounted under the fuselage, under the floor, dragging the center of gravity towards the curb. BMW also equips the M60 with an intelligent rear steering feature. Combined, the long, bulky iX is given an unexpected twist of direction. Lightweight, quick steering also helps, and its variable ratio feels more natural than you'd expect, especially given the rear wheels that help steer the iX. BMW takes more advantage of the electric iX's EV setup by standardizing the M50's air springs and adaptive shocks, and adjusting both to be more responsive. So are the anti-roll bars, which are 10% stiffer at the front and 20% at the rear than those on the M50. Read between the lines of the M60's OK usage numbers, and the 9 is really fun to drive. This stiffer rear anti-roll bar certainly plays a role in helping the M60 stay neutral, start the accelerator pedal, and drift this electric luxury SUV all day. It really does feel like a longer, stronger M3 competition, so soccer practice runs will be far from boring. Brake feel is consistent and reassuring, a typical sore point on EVs with regenerative braking. You cannot detect where computers delegate deceleration tasks from the regenerative function of the motors to the mechanical brakes. These tasks are shared with the 9 M50 model. Apart from tuning, in our first driving story for the M60, we questioned whether even wearing BMW's entry-level M Performance badge was good enough. Our test numbers, while not exceptional, don't really contradict our previous conclusion. It's an electric SUV that's surprisingly fun to drive. It also lacks any major compromises in its pursuit of ultimate driving intrigues. The ride is comfortable even in Sport and Sport Plus drive modes, and the 9 is very spacious and deadly quiet. We really enjoyed the zoom sounds composed by Hans Zimmer, which you can choose to play every time you press the accelerator pedal. It feels like you're playing an alien orchestra, which is interesting, if not as exciting as listening to one of BMW's straight sixes or V8's. The rest of the cabin is unusual enough to show how different this vehicle is, as if the exposed carbon fiber sections of the body structure visible on the door jambs weren't enough. We love the available $500 titanium bronze window and bumper trim, $1,150 luxury pack with a similarly colored metal trim, insideethin glass iDrive knob and center console buttons integrated into the surrounding wood trim. BMW's proliferating double-curved displays float on thin struts above the dash, offering sharp graphics and a slightly hectic menu tiles that you can swipe from left to right, voice controls, and some gesture response. BMW isn't afraid to charge big bucks for the 9M60's appealing mix of handling, power, and luxury. The spicy iX starts at $106,095, and our modestly equipped test model was a steal at $109,945. Even so, a Tesla Model X Plaid starts at just over $140,000. Whether you can tolerate mediocre build quality or need the 533-mile range and Tesla's supercharger network is up to you. The 9M60 features extremely fast charging at up to 250 kilowatts and has an EPA estimated range of 288 miles. And it's extremely well built. We should point out that as with any vehicle, you won't be able to see what it looks like from behind the wheel.